So I'll introduce Faria and Ionela Spinu, or Yoni for short. So Faria is the wonderful academic director. Ladies, if you could join me on stage at DataU. So Faria has over 15 years in education. She's an effective leader and manager. She has run many UK academies in education from the forefront. She is versed in academic excellence and pedagogy, and we are very pleased to have her as part of the management team at DataU. Ionela, or Yoni, is our soft skills director. She has over 10 years of experience working in soft skills, 7 of which were spent spearheading a number of startups. She has studied at many interesting institutions, including Yale, Harvard, and MIT. She has a passion for delivering change, and she is bringing a lot of energy and passion and enthusiasm to the DataU family. So if you can join us on stage and tell us a bit about a bit about digital transformation, I will leave the floor to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for bearing with us still. Hopefully the mic works. Cool. So we just wanted to kind of wrap it all and tell you a little bit about digital transformation from a soft skills perspective. So we can all agree that 2020, if 2020 has taught us anything by now, is that this quote is more accurate than ever. And the fact that if we are unable to adapt, as Nikki said, we should adapt yesterday. If we're unable to do that, we are pretty much going to be left behind, and the cost of not being able to do that on time is going to be pretty high. So, as you said, I do a lot of research, and in my research, I was looking at what is one thing that successful CEOs do really, really well. And one thing that I came across is the fact that successful CEOs have the ability to adapt proactively. So that means having a growth mindset, being able to deal with setbacks really well, thinking long term, and at the same time following through with their commitment. So, as a CEO, as a leader in your organization, if you are able to do those 3 things successfully, you are 670% more likely to be successful. That's a huge number. So, in today's COVID world, we, as Joe said as well, we don't want to dwell so much on it, but it becomes very apparent that we need to adapt as now more than ever, because so many data-enabled technologies are infused in our daily activities. So I was looking at some numbers. This is the cost of doing digital transformation wrong. So in 2018, in US alone, $1.3 billion trillion were invested in digital transformation. And out of that, 900 billion were wasted. So I don't know how is everyone in this room feeling about that, but that's a pretty staggering number. So what that means is that over 70% of projects failed to adopt digital transformation. And that is purely because they forgot the most relevant thing. And this is one thing that all organizations forget in the process of digital transformation.
Pass it on to you. It's like a double at this. Yes. Great. Right, okay, so you're all here because we promised that we were going to give you the $1 million secret to digital transformation. Now, our panel were amazing, so thank you so much. And I think we're going to repeat some of those points that you've made, and hopefully they'll make a real impact to you this evening. So, using your biggest asset, anybody here would like to share what their biggest asset might be within their organization? People? Anybody else? I will take people. It is people. Thank you, Nikki. So there's no real secret. We all know, we've heard it before, we've heard it tonight as well. Digital transformation cannot go ahead without people. And when you go back to your organizations, the people are there. People-led, technology-enabled. So when we think about digital transformation, we think about technology. And you're right, the output is the technology. However, if we don't have the skill set and we don't train the staff that we currently have, how are they going to portray your vision? How are they going to apply their skills if we're not upgrading them, okay? This leads me onto this slide where the market has 99 problems and people are one. So when we have done our market research, we have spoken to many CEOs, CTOs, and this is a quote that we've come back with. We have huge amounts of data. We know we can use that to make better decisions, make and save more money, but we just don't have the people or the resources right now. I don't agree. Every single one of you in this room has the people to do the job for you. We need to make sure that we are putting people first. How do we do that? Nikki talked about it earlier as well, about evaluating employee skills. We need to go back to our companies. I'm really sorry, I don't know whether this works better without or with the mic. Without? Right, okay.
It's going to come down to that.
Okay, so people first. Evaluate the people you have back in the office. What skill set do they currently have? How can we go forward if we don't know, right, who can do this and who can do that? What impact are they going to have for you? What money are they going to make for you? Because at the end of the day, it's all about revenue. When we evaluate their skill set, we then reveal the gaps in the talent. So that's when you can start thinking about your strategies, right? Do we need to go outside? Do we need to outsource? Or can we bring in companies like DataU, Mekong Big Data to help and upskill your workforce? We're offering on-the-job training. This is what we need to do in order to give value back to our companies. Like you said before, you have the people, you have the digital skills. What can we do to improve on those skills in order for us to have that impact that we desire? And promoting from within. We are spending 18 to 20% more on employing new members of staff than actually spending that money on training, putting that value back into our company, into our skill set, into our people who have been there, know your value, know your ethos, your mission statement. So why not give it back to them instead? When we think about digital transformation, again, technology is the forefront, but actually we need to revert back to the people. How are these people going to change with the next wave? Okay, so we're currently, okay, COVID has had a massive impact. And I know some of you have said that, hasn't had much of an impact, but around the world, globally, it has. Here, what are we doing in Cambodia? We need to focus on the soft skills. Where's the collaboration, creativity, the agility? Okay, we need to bring all these skills together. So when there's a new wave of IT, they need to be ready to adapt, and that's what it needs to be about. We need to put that time in now, that effort in now, in order for them all to be able to adapt as the world changes.
Okay, shall I try the mic again? It seems to work. It's fine, you can do it. Cool. So the next thing that comes up that we will encourage you to do is to drive change from the top. Yeah, we all know that change has a trickle-down effect, happens from the top. And if we're looking at what has been happening in the world with the way the pandemic was handled in certain countries, I'm sure you can agree with me that certain leaders have dealt better with that than others. Yeah. And one thing that you might not be thinking of constantly or on a consistent basis might be that you don't think of yourself as the CEO, as the leader in your own company, as one of the main differentiators in that company, right? Because you bring your unique leadership skills to the company, you bring your mindset, your values, your insights, your core competencies, yeah? And if we combine that with great talent and a data-driven mindset, you can certainly set yourself apart from the competitors. And that takes me to my next point. So make sure that you are acting on your data insights. We all love to talk about artificial intelligence. We love to talk about machine learning, deep learning, and so on. But what is that without having the talent and without looking at your insights, without drawing those insights from your data? And moreover, how can you achieve something that is completely different to what your competitors do if you don't act on your data. So I can't overemphasize this enough, but being able to take action in your data is what is going to set you apart. If we think about big guys like Amazon, Google, Facebook, what do they have in common? You will notice that it's a radical data-driven culture. It's all about monetizing their data. They look at algorithms, they look at our behavior just to make sure that they monetize on that, yeah? And if there's one thing that you should leave here with today is this: data is your oxygen. And being able to live and breathe to your data is crucial. And you need to cultivate it, nurture it, and harness it in such a way that you can use it as your competitive advantage.
Okay, so like Yoni said earlier, we are kind of doing this segment in the presentation, so we're kind of bringing everything together so that,
That's good luck. That's good luck.
and bringing it all together so you guys can go back and think about what are your next steps, what are you going to do within your organization. So 5 questions to kickstart your transformation journey. And I want to say, I'm not saying that technology is not part of it. What we're saying here is that we need to think about what are we doing within the organization, the people, in order for the technology to work. So, is your digital plan increasing your business or technology agility? Do you believe that you have enough digitally literate executives to achieve your transformation goals? Okay, so if we don't have them, we can't go any further. Is technology helping you win against the competition? Ultimately, we want to have a competitive advantage. That's what you guys are here. Do you have the right technology skills to deliver the technology innovation you need for growth? Innovation is crucial. We heard from the first one that buzzwords here and there, innovation is everywhere, okay? But what does it actually mean? You need to make sure that you have the right people to drive innovation. Without it, we're not going anywhere. And what skills do you need most to meet your digital transformation agenda? This is going to take me to this slide here. I talked earlier about evaluating your current staff, and I promise you it's crucial that you go back and really think about the skill set that you have within your company. So what we're doing at DataU and Mekong Big Data, we are working with blue chip companies to create benchmarking. Okay, now benchmarking isn't just a one-day task or a one-off task that you will complete, that your staff will complete, and that's it. It's an ongoing process. The purpose is, right, I know, or I think I know where my staff are. We complete the survey, and then we've got an output of information telling us what our staff are confident in doing, and where we can see our next steps. With that, we will work with you to plan your next steps, to plan and start your digital transformation journey. And one thing that I want to take, if you don't come to us and don't come to talk to us about it, I promise you that you need to think about auditing your staff on what you are going to do next with them.
So that leads me into saying that the sweet spot of digital transformation done right is somewhere there in between those 5 elements. So in terms of strategy, are you thinking at your people, at your processes? Are you thinking at infrastructure? What do you need to bring in? Innovation, buzzword again. What is your innovation? You know, we heard from Cheryl, the Fitbit for cows. That's innovation, right? Yeah. So think about what is it that you within your company can bring to the table. When we talk about culture, data-driven mindset, yeah, that this comes over and over again. How do we get there? How do we change the mindset? How do we educate? Leadership, of course, as I said, you are use your unique skills as leaders that you can bring to the table, and of course, this will lead to more revenue. So the sweet spot somewhere there in the middle. Over to you.
Okay. I want to leave you with one of my favorite quotes from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Now, whenever we do a presentation like this, we always use the quote that we want to be known not just for Angkor Wat. We want to be known for innovation. We want to be known for data science. And what I'm saying to you is we're not about just leaving a trail. We want to be pinpointed on a map. We want to create that we are the digital foundation, we're the digital hub of Asia. And the only way to do that is to take down the points that we've discussed today, think about the people that you work with, think about the technology, and that's the only way that we are going to move forward is if we put all of that effort into the people that work with us and the people that surround your organization. Okay? Thank you very much for listening to our presentation.
Thank you. Sorry, before we move on to the wine and cheese and networking, of course, we just want to say, if I can borrow this. So on your chairs, you might have seen one of these, our course directory. So this is how a few ways of how we can help you. So have a look. If you need one, just let us know because we might have someone, I hope, still. Thank you so much once again. And we really hope that you left with some valuable insights that you can go and implement straight away within your organizations. Thank you once again.